Hello and welcome to my channel. Here I review movies, and this weekend I went to see Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. It's an action-adventure comedy sequel to Ghostbusters Afterlife and continues the tale of the Spengler family's adventures. This time, they find themselves back in New York dealing with a cold demon who emerged from a mysterious artifact. Gil Kenan and Jason Reitman wrote the story, and Gil Kenan directed the film, which stars Paul Rudd, Carrie Coon, McKenna Grace, and Finn Wolfhard. Alright, let's begin with the parts I liked. While not entirely perfect, the story does everything you want a Ghostbusters film to do. It's got comedy, it's got ghosts, demons, and other CGI monsters galore, and there are tons of nostalgic references for the audience to enjoy. There are a few places where they could have explained things a little bit better, but generally the story is consistent and follows its own rules. It's also a fairly exciting tale with lots of great beats in it. There's always something going on, whether it's a mischievous ghost appearing to prank people, the team trading one-liners and jokes, a dangerous ghost hunt, or the villain attempting to take over the world. There's never a dull moment, though they do sometimes get lost in tangents. The cast as a whole is great, and there is a ton of chemistry floating around. The old Ghostbusters all make an appearance to help save the day, including Annie Potts, who finally gets the chance to suit up. Alongside them, the new Ghostbusters take on the majority of the screen time and play out a family drama that sees Gary join the family and leaves Phoebe feeling left out. The visual journey is filled with incredible CGI creations and action, and they did a wonderful job of recreating the world of the original film. The firehouse was an especially fun setting for the story to take place in. The journey is easy to follow, filled with smooth shots, complex angles, and proper lighting, and features a ton of great costume work and set design. The places they visited were filled to the brim with little details for the audience to enjoy. The ghosts were especially well done. They brought back Slimer for a quick appearance and made him into a truly revolting being, and they created a bunch of new ghosts that are either terrifying or hilarious. Sound-wise, the film features a ton of strong scored instrumentals that follow the emotional journey precisely and amplify every moment. They're the kind of tracks that you expect to hear in a good adventure film, so it isn't the most original experience, but the songs do their job well and give each moment a cinematic feel. Okay, so I liked most of the film, but there were a few problems. One of the biggest problems is the overfilled plot. There is too much going on in the story and too many characters for them to truly focus properly. Storylines like the Firemasters get left in the cold, and characters like the original Ghostbusters get more time than they need. This leads to two of the most important storylines feeling underdeveloped and leaves the cast without the opportunity to really stand out. This is especially apparent in Gary and Phoebe's story and Phoebe and Melody's story. Both of them were emotional storylines, and they aren't quite as satisfying as they should be due to the lack of screen time. As much as it hurts to say, it might be time to let go of the original cast and let the new characters stand on their own. I like seeing Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Ernie Hudson every few years, but they didn't have much to do in this story, and they took up a lot of time. As I said earlier, the soundtrack is highly generic and easily forgettable. I love music, and I honestly couldn't remember any of it 10 minutes after leaving the theater. Ironically, the most memorable piece of music in the film is when Paul Rudd jokingly recites the lyrics to the Ghostbusters theme song. This film also isn't trying anything all that new. If there was a formula for the Ghostbusters, these guys would be following it to a T. Overall, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is an entertaining film that has great visual effects, a lot of comedic moments, some decent acting, and a forgettable but solid soundtrack. If you enjoyed the previous Ghostbuster films, you'll probably enjoy this one. As for a rating, I'd give this film a 7 out of 10. Remember, these are just my thoughts on the film. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Bye-bye.